Scars to stars, reclaiming your power after being overlooked. Have you ever felt invisible? Like you were screaming into a void where no one could hear you? Where your talents, your dreams, your very existence seems overlooked? I recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Shureka Graham, a visionary whose wisdom has transformed countless lives across continents. Her work in helping the overlooked find their voice isn't just impressive, it's revolutionary. Through her mentorship programs and speaking engagements, she's created a movement that's helping people, particularly women, step out of the shadows and into their rightful spotlight. What struck me most about Shareka was her unwavering conviction that no matter how overlooked you've been, your time to shine isn't just coming, it's already here, waiting for you to claim it. The truth is, we all carry scars, some visible, most hidden beneath carefully constructed personas. But what if those very scars aren't evidence of your brokenness, but rather proof of your readiness for elevation? I want to share something that might feel uncomfortable at first, something we don't talk about in polite company or professional settings. The reality that many of us, especially women, especially those from marginalized communities, have been systematically trained to make ourselves smaller, to apologize for taking up space, to whisper when we should roar. And it's not just society that does this to us. Sometimes the most vicious voices of doubt come from within our own minds, shaped by years of subtle and not so subtle messaging that we're just not enough. But here's what Shareka's wisdom revealed: your past pain does not define your future purpose. Let me say that again because someone here today desperately needs to hear it. Your past pain does not define your future purpose. Consider Sureka, a small business entrepreneur from India. When I learned about her story, I was struck by how familiar her struggle felt. She began with almost nothing: limited resources, minimal support, and a society that often views women's ambitions as secondary, the kind of environment where dreams go to die. But Sureka refused that narrative. With fierce determination, she secured a loan through a program designed to empower women entrepreneurs. What began as a modest food business expanded into chili grinding and wheat noodles. Her business didn't just survive, it thrived. She created jobs, she inspired other women. She became living proof that being overlooked doesn't mean being overcome. What's remarkable about Sarika's story isn't just her success, it's that she refused to let her circumstances dictate her destiny. She didn't wait for permission to dream bigger. She didn't need everyone to believe in her before she believed in herself. This is what Sharika Graham calls walking boldly into your calling, not tiptoeing, not apologizing, but striding with purpose toward what you know you are meant to do. Now, let's be honest, boldness isn't always comfortable. In fact, it rarely is, especially when you've been conditioned to shrink, to accommodate, to make yourself palatable for others' consumption. I'm reminded of Saloni Sarika, who launched Glow Glossary while raising two young boys. With an MBA in hand, she could have chosen a traditional career path, the expected route, the safe option. Instead, she faced down skepticism about starting something new while managing family responsibilities. How many times have you heard that voice? This isn't the right time. You have too many other obligations. Maybe later, when things settle down. Later, always later. As if our dreams are luxury items to be indulged only after everyone else's needs are met. Saloni rejected that premise. She leaned into a self belief rooted in faith, developing a brand that celebrated authenticity over perfectionism. Within 2 years, Glow Glossary became recognized and respected, and she proved the doubters wrong by thriving both professionally and personally. What's powerful about Saloni's journey is how she transformed moments of invisibility into fuel. Each time she felt dismissed, each skeptical glance or doubtful comment became not a reason to retreat, but a reason to advance. This is what divine grace looks like in action, not an abstract concept, but a tangible force that elevates us beyond our circumstances, that opens doors no human hand can shut. I want to pause here and acknowledge something important. When we talk about boldness, about claiming space, about walking unapologetically in your purpose, it can sound like we're suggesting it's easy. Just decide to be confident, just choose to be bold. But that's not what Shureka Graham teaches, and it's not what these stories demonstrate. True boldness isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. It's feeling the weight of past rejection, past oversight, past trauma, and stepping forward anyway. Because here's what I know for certain: your scars are not evidence that you should shrink back, they are proof that you're destined for higher ground. Consider the remarkable story of Atama's Kitchen, founded by Upasana Konidela and her mother in law, Sureka. In a culture where generational pressures often discourage women's entrepreneurial ambitions, they faced skepticism about scaling homemade products regionally. Instead of conforming to limitations, they leveraged digital marketing and social media storytelling, rooting their brand in authenticity and intergenerational wisdom. Today, Atama's Kitchen stands as one of Telangana's most beloved regional brands, expanding across communities and inspiring female founders globally. What's striking about their journey is how they navigated periods when their talents were undervalued due to rigid cultural norms. Rather than internalizing these limitations, they supported each other, combining traditional wisdom with modern innovation. Their collaboration became a powerful testament to what's possible when women refuse to be defined by others' expectations. This is what transformation looks like: not a single dramatic moment, but a series of choices to believe in your worth, even when, especially when, others don't see it. Now, I want to get practical for a moment, because inspiration without application is just entertainment. What does it actually look like to reclaim your power after being overlooked? How do you practically step into boldness when you've been trained to step back? First, recognize that your wounds are not just wounds, they're wisdom. Every time you've been overlooked has taught you something valuable about resilience, about perspective, about what truly matters. Don't discard these lessons, alchemize them. Second, understand that boldness is a muscle that strengthens with use. You don't want to make dramatic declarations or grand gestures. Start small, speak up in that meeting where you normally stay silent. Share that idea you've been holding back. Apply for that position even though you don't meet 100% of the qualifications. Third, surround yourself with people who see you, truly see you, even when you struggle to see yourself. Community isn't just about comfort, it's about reflection. Sometimes we need others to mirror back our greatness until we can recognize it ourselves. And finally, embrace what Shureka Graham emphasized as divine grace, that mysterious force that sometimes opens doors we didn't even know existed. Call it faith, call it the universe, call it God, but recognize that there is something larger than your past limitations working on your behalf. I'm reminded of a powerful affirmation Shureka shares, my scars are proof I'm destined for higher ground, not evidence I should shrink back. Say that to yourself. Feel the truth of it in your bones. Because here's what happens when you begin to live from this place of bold authenticity. You don't just transform your own life, you create permission for others to do the same. When Sureka expanded her business, she didn't just create jobs, she created possibility models for other women in her community. When Saloni built Glow Glossary, despite skepticism, she showed other mothers they didn't have to choose between family and ambition. When Upasana and her mother in law created a Thomas Kitchen, they sparked conversations about legacy building among underrepresented women leaders. Your boldness becomes a beacon. Your courage creates corridors for others to walk through. So I want to challenge you today. Take one bold step toward your dreams this week, even if fear lingers from past wounds, even if voices have told you you're not enough. Trust that grace will meet your courage halfway because your past does not define your purpose. Divine grace is transformative and elevating, and boldness, unapologetic, authentic boldness, is not just nice to have, it's essential. I want to leave you with this thought: being overlooked is painful, it cuts deep, it makes us question our worth, our gifts, our very right to exist in certain spaces. But what if being overlooked wasn't the end of your story, but merely the beginning? What if those moments of invisibility were actually preparing you for a visibility so profound, so authentic that when people finally see you, truly see you, they can't look away? This is the wisdom Shureka Graham imparts. This is the truth these stories illuminate. This is the reality I want you to embrace. You were never meant to be invisible. You were meant to shine so brightly that those who once overlooked you can't help but look up. So I challenge you today, right now, to make a declaration, not just in your mind, but with your voice, with your actions, with your life. Declare that from this moment forward, you will no longer make yourself small to fit into spaces that were never worthy of your greatness. Declare that you will no longer wait for permission to shine. Declare that your scars, those places where life has wounded you, are now the very source of your strength. The world doesn't need more people playing small. It needs you, all of you, with your wounds and your wisdom, your fears and your fierce determination. It needs your voice, your vision, your unique brilliance. Stand tall, speak up, step forward. Your time isn't coming, it's here. And the world is waiting for exactly what only you can bring. Thank you.